Hey everybody,
Hey,
second video time.
we're back. Don't starve together. I'm playing this time. This is Stefan, and I'm Blair.
So this is one of our favorite games to play as a couple. We played this a ton before. We haven't played it in a while, so we'll probably be...
Yeah, when we lived in Australia, we were playing this together a lot.
Yeah, we lived in Australia together for a year and we just played it non-stop, so...
We didn't have any friends at the time. Okay, let's generate the world. Going in. Going in.
I love how creepy Tim Burton style is.
Yeah, it's a really cool art
Of
style.
Don't Start. Very unique.
Oh, we have to pick who we're gonna be. I always used to be Mary. Isn't her name Mary?
Yeah, but she's shit.
Yeah, no, she is shit. So
She's
I don't.
shit.
I'm usually the spider now.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe we should be the spider then.
And I actually brought this game up like a couple months ago with my friend after not playing it for years and noticed, look, they have these new characters.
Oh shit, why are they locked? They make us pay for them.
No, you need to you have to buy them. Or
think
there's
I
other ways to get them.
Oh,
That
that's
take
cool
forever.
though.
And this guy's new as well.
That one looks like old Greg.
I'm all Greg, Skater Man Fish. I'm usually Weber, because he can befriend spiders, which means the spiders don't always attack you, and he can eat monster meat, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, okay. Monster meatballs, right?
Yeah.
I know monster meatballs
Yeah,
are
he
good
can.
for everyone.
But he can eat just normal monster meat.
Oh, what the fuck? You can make him look different too.
Yeah, I don't want to waste anyone's time here, so let's just get in there.
Right, so...
We're gonna have to, okay, yeah. So we click to move. You pick up flowers to. Oh shit.
Oh, yeah, that was
a rose.
So you can... Right, so I guess the objective of this one is just not to die. So...
Yeah, you want to survive in this wilderness. There's very little clues given.
And literally, like, we had to get into this a little bit. I knew it was going to be fun, so I kind of like, wow, what the fuck is that thing? That's new as well.
Examine Wobster Mound.
Wobster Mound. It's hard. It's really hard.
It took us a while to get through winter, which is now when you're good at it, it's not.
Yeah, so you go through the seasons, and like right now we're in autumn, which is probably the easiest one. But every season has its like own shit that it throws at you, and you've just got to survive, and you have to keep, you can see in the top right of the screen, there's like the hunger meter, the sanity meter, and then how much health you have. And if any one of those runs out, then you die, right? If any one of them runs out.
Yeah,
zero.
well, we changed this mode to endless, which means when you die, you turn into a ghost, and your health like permanently goes
Wanna get
down.
those berries,
Yeah, okay.
I guess, yeah.
Right now, we want to make sure that once it's nighttime, if you don't have fire, you're gonna die. So you can make a little torch, but you need these twigs and flint, which I think we picked up like one flint.
Yeah, so basically
This is a flint.
The idea is that certain things like decrease your sanity. So at nighttime when it's pitch black, there's this like monster that haunts you if you're in the darkness. So you've got to have some source of light, which is like a torch or a campfire or something like that. Otherwise you start to go insane. Actually, if you're in the pitch black for too long, then you just straight up...
Yeah, it kills you.
You straight up get eaten. So I guess what we usually try to do at the beginning is just like explore the map to find a base to set
Yeah,
up.
because we're gonna start setting up a base where you can have a campfire, you can always return to it. Eventually, like, you end up making a fridge and stuff that makes your food last longer, because your food will rot. It's like all these little berries we're collecting. And you can make these little things. I think it's the science machine and the alchemy machine, which allows you to make a bigger backpack. And, oh yay, grass. We need that, I think, for the torch.
It's one of those things where kind of like everything you pick up like can be kind of combined together with other things to make progressively more complex shit that helps you survive.
And you're going through the seasons, so each season also has its own new, like, autumn's the easiest season. There's not many threats.
You
This
can
is
get pig skins from those.
Yeah, with the hammer, you like
Yeah, with
break
a hammer,
these
you can
things. We don't have a hammer yet. And the other thing is, pretty routinely, what is it, like maybe like every like...
Beefalo!
Yeah, we found beefalo. What I was just about to explain is the hounds come and attack you every, I don't know, 9 days or something, you'll hear them. They start making a hound noise. Go like, oh, oh, oh. And then they come, and if you don't, you can't kill 5 hounds with your bare hands. You need, like, these beefalo will protect me because the hounds will accidentally bite them, and the beefalo will kill the hounds so we can survive. Little good relationship there. Oh shoot! See, now it's evening. I was worried.
We've got grass, right? Because you need grass and twigs to make a torch.
Yeah, I do have grass, but I was just
Probably
thinking this
need
isn't a
more
bad
grass.
spot for a base, but we still want to explore to find out where other things are. Because we want to find things like the bees, the spiders. There's other like animals and stuff.
Yeah, we want to find the robot
Pigs.
things.
The robot things, so we
Yeah.
can make a fridge because you kill them and you get these gears. If you cook these mushrooms, they are helpful for health.
It's one of those games where, like, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like sometimes it's just impossible to know what to do without looking shit up.
Yeah.
Like, we wouldn't have got anywhere in this if we didn't look up how to do. And I realize that for some people, that's kind of like the joy of playing a game, is kind of like discovering things that, you know, surprise you, or you work things out. But I also find there's like, I just don't have that much time to figure it out on
Yeah,
my
and
own,
you
because
get
like I've got a certain amount of time to game when I want to, even though it's one of my main hobbies. And if I'm spending literally like 10 hours getting frustrated
It's a mandrake.
just trying to figure out what the fuck to do, then I end up just like giving up on that one and going with something else, you know. But maybe that just makes me,
It's another mandrake.
maybe that makes me a fake gamer.
Well, I mean, it just gets really frustrating.
Yeah.
And then it's not a good time, is it?
Oh, we got an
Like
axe.
some
Nice.
things. We have axe. We've got these 2 mandrakes, which they'll pass out, and we can pick them up as items once it's nighttime, I think, or morning. And they like heal your health when they're cooked or something. And here's spiders. Because I'm a spider, they don't eat me. Oh, you ate one of my mandrakes. Oh shit! You better not
Jesus
take
Christ.
them.
Motherfucker.
They're
But he's meant to be
useful
our friend.
Well, he was not eating us. Oh yeah, and you can get that little Chester box that follows you around and enemies try to eat it. Yeah, so I guess now we're just gonna do some exploring. Should probably cut down some trees. Oh wait, I should make my fire stick.
Is it still not the first night?
It's almost the first night. The nights start off short.
So yeah, anyway, we're not really making this video to like try to get people to play Don't Starve or whatever. I guess the point of this channel was just that we like to chat about shit with each other all
We
the
like
time.
to chat about shit.
And you know, cover kind of like interesting topics about life and love and philosophy.
Meaning, I don't know, all these sorts of.
And so we thought, you know, why not make videos where we're playing games and then talk about that shit that other people can kind of join in the conversation too.
Yeah, just have some fun, keep it relaxed.
Yeah, exactly. So we're just kind of hanging out here, and we're open to suggestions also to things that people might want us to discuss or
Yeah, this is very experimental for us.
get involved in the conversation. So as Blair is exploring,
Wandering.
wandering around, I guess we kind of wanted to touch on the topic of relationships today.
Yay!
If anyone watched our
Love
first
relationships.
video, Blair and I have been together for almost 5 years now.
Almost 5 years.
And I guess it's something that a lot of people ask us. Well, maybe individually, not like when we're necessarily kind of like sitting together, but like, you know, like, how are you guys together for so long? And
Yeah, how's.
what is it that constitutes like a solid relationship between the two of you? The pig man does not like us. And so maybe that's something we can talk about today. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Stef
Blair.
is the best. I love him so much, and that is definitely a big part of why our relationship is fantastic.
Yeah, I think love definitely helps. What was it, I guess, that initially made you think that, I mean, this is a very self-serving question, but that made you think that I might be the person that you would want to have a relationship with?
I mean, I think a big part of it was just I felt really comfortable around you, that we could talk about anything. I didn't feel like you were judgmental of me. It kind of made it easy for me to talk to you. I think that's number one, to feel like I can communicate with you easily was definitely a first.
Yeah, I totally agree. We actually met when we were on holiday, and one of the, like, instantly I found with Blair, one thing which was really awesome was the fact that I felt like I was just suddenly talking about all this different shit that maybe I'd been thinking about in my mind but not really kind of like said out loud, and it just seemed like she seemed like such an easy person to kind of like formulate all these thoughts that I had, because I felt for the first time in a long time, you know, I could really sit down with someone and speak about something, and she was really listening. I mean, Blair is a really awesome listener, and I think that is such an attractive quality in someone. You know, when you can feel like you're truly being heard by someone, that they really kind of like at least trying to get you or understand you, I think that's what anyone would kind of want. So I thought that was definitely something that made me think, oh shit, like maybe I should
like
stick
this
around.
Girl.
Maybe I should stick around and see how this goes.
Yeah, and I think to all relationships, the big first step is having that kind of special comfort, a certain safety that you can be yourself, and then the like next step, which is even more so, is that you're also like encouraged to be your best self. You suddenly have a new motivation for, you know, wanting to be your greatest potential.
Yeah, that's definitely something very sweet that you've always said to me, is that you are kind of like motivated by our relationship and just wanting to be the best person you can be for my sake.
Yeah, because I feel also that I'm so lucky to, you know, have you. And so then how do you even that out? You want to like make sure you're accountable and just to the world that like you're deserving of it and trying your best and trying to be worthy of such great blessings.
So basically this is a channel where we talk about how fucking great we are, so I hope
you guys are loving this.
Yeah, I think that's cool, and I think that touches on something that I wanted to cover definitely on this topic, and that's the kind of idea of respect. And I think one thing that is very conducive to a lasting and loving relationship is just having in your mind this idea of respect for your partner, kind of like almost in some respects in a healthy way, putting them before yourself, and kind of thinking of them when you're about to do something, or you know just in your everyday life, considering what impact your actions might have on them, and because of your respect for them, you know, making decisions according to that. I think that's what some people that break up, or their relationships don't last so long, they have maybe a lack of respect for their partner, in the sense that they're not really going to give a shit about what their actions do to harm their other half. And that's definitely something that I've had to learn, as Blair is, my longest relationship, and definitely the most special person that I've ever come across, is that I've kind of really tried to have that in the back of my mind always, like, respect for her in our interactions, respect for her when we're out together, that type of thing, I think is something always really important to think about.
And the thing with respect as well is that it's like, I'm gonna build the base here. You can't, once you've lost respect, once it's broken, it's like really hard to kind of revert back to when people are in a relationship respecting each other. I guess when people have major blowouts and fights and things, and they say things they don't mean, and they argue, or they kind of, want revenge and do, like, they act out and try to hurt each other. It's really hard to reel back and rewind, because then the next time a disagreement or something happens, it's almost like you have to outdo the last battle you fought to make it more serious and more. It's really important to uphold that, like, you don't do those things, you don't cross those lines with each other.
Yeah, and I think people can say things that they don't mean.
Yeah, but I mean, like, aggressively for the sake of trying to hurt your significant other.
Yeah.
And then
I think that's when sometimes relationships deteriorate, when you get to the stage where you're kind of just trying to, like, desperately prove to yourself that your partner really loves you, or you try to kind of, like, piss them off or wind them up in order to get that reaction out of them, to kind of, like, prove to yourself that they still care about you. I feel like a lot of people you see that in a lot of couples where they're kind of just, like, arguing for the sake of it, like, almost they're addicted to the idea of arguing with each other. I don't really know what that comes from. Maybe that is just like it comes from an insecurity
absolutely.
that their partner isn't the one for them, or doesn't respect them, or we're fucked, aren't we?
Oh god, that was a close one, guys.
Yeah, we were really close to dying.
I'm just trying to build a campfire, but I wanted to build it by the beefalo. I need more.
Yeah,
rocks.
what are we doing? This is a typical thing where, like,
it's hard to, like, get. And this is it's not a simple game, but there's a lot of just wandering around. But you still gotta have an idea. I was thinking I would set up base here because I think the beefalo are, like, right there. Do you think that's too close?
No, I think you set up base here. I
Okay.
mean, sometimes they get involved in your business, so maybe we want to, like, set it up on the border with another biome.
Okay, I was thinking it was cool here because there are 2 paths on meat, but
you also can't build on the paths, so you want to have, like, quite a lot of space to, like, build out, kind of. Also, I think we want to do it on the border of water, because I feel like you can make boats and stuff now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Why
Yeah,
don't we
look
build
how
it
the-
here
look how
then?
the water
Maybe,
is,
like, right here in this little corner.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I don't need to take my fire out. We don't need that no more. Drop these. I have too much stuff. That's why I definitely want to create a base.
We need a backpack.
Oh, that's 'cause I just.
We don't have enough
No,
rocks.
I do. I just drop these. Okay. Oh, we don't
We
have
don't
enough
have enough
rocks.
rocks, yeah.
Right.
Well, there are rocks just around here. So
I'm gonna eat these. Oh, these flower petals aren't helping me. I should have kept them.
just eat
collect
the
them.
berries. Eat the berries.
These are berries. Ah, I'm so hungry.
Yeah, because you can make a flower petal hat.
Yeah, and I shouldn't have eaten them. Like 12, you can make a flower band.
Maybe I'm the one that should be.
Babe!
Maybe I'm the one that should be in control.
Babe, no. Okay, let me just make some things here.
Let's see, does anyone else ever have the, like,
Oh, we need gold as well. Okay.
being a
I'm gonna
backseat
just
gamer is
drop
very
some
difficult
stuff.
sometimes?
Should I drop here? Oh, I'll just drop these here. And the poops. I
Yeah,
don't
look
need
at all
the
that shit
poops.
inside. Oh no, we're going insane, that's why we can see that.
Yeah.
Um,
Going crazy.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to just watch someone else play a game, and you always think that you could, like, do better, but then as soon as you start playing, you realize that it's actually hard.
Yeah. I just find it a bit hard that I'm like, we're talking, I'm listening to you, and then I have, like, a little side of my mind being like, oh, I still need this. Oh, I need to go make a torch.
You're trying to find rocks now.
And yeah, we need to find gold so we can make a science machine. And we need rocks in
Have you
general.
not
Oh
found
my
any
gosh,
gold
is this
anywhere?
where the...
No.
No.
Looks like this is just marble.
Oh. Yeah, we want to find the robo people.
You need to kill those rocks.
We need to kill those rocks.
Yeah, you need to kill the rocks. So, I mean, Blair, you were in quite a long relationship before we started going out.
Yeah,
So maybe you can talk a little bit about
it was not
What
a good
happened
one. It was a toxic relationship.
toxic relationship.
Which is funny, just how contrasting my awesome relationship with Stefan is now in
Oh, gosh.
comparison. I was young when I got into that relationship, and I think a lot of people can relate that sometimes you hang on to something too long because you've already invested so much of your time. You don't understand why it's not working. And also just like a loyalty thing involved, just thinking like it would be your flaw to like give up, you know, that kind of thing. There was much fighting, much miscommunications, and I mean, I don't want to make it about someone else, but he was also an asshole.
Yeah. I think, communication is definitely a huge thing as well. Sometimes it's really difficult to talk about the things that are upsetting you, or, you know, kind of like creating a rift between you and your partner. But it's so important because without communication, you might not even realize that the thing that you're angry with the other person about, you're actually on the same fucking side. Like, you might be thinking that they are doing something because of a particular reason, but you've actually just totally made that up in your head if you haven't really communicated how you feel or allowed them to communicate why they're doing something. And so I think just having this kind of like radical transparency all the time is
Radical
transparency. Yeah, that's such a term that you would like. That'd be like on the front cover of like a self-help book or something. Radical transparency. It's how I live my life.
It's great.
I think you need to say shit if something's annoying you or upsetting you. You gotta come out with it,
And
even if it's difficult.
But and it's also though that I think you have to be willing to like if you're gonna want to be in like a great healthy relationship, it's partly you have to be willing to have a great healthy relationship with yourself, or else if you don't, then all those things will reflect in your external relationship with your significant other. If you know you're not willing to be honest with yourself about things, and then suddenly you're hiding something, you're lying about something, you don't even know why you're doing that, and obviously that's going to take a toll on, you know, your lover.
Yeah, I think if you're always hiding something,
What am I doing?
that is definitely not conducive to being able to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I have enough rocks now, I think. I just have to find the base again.
We are on day 3 and we still haven't built a campfire. We are not going at a good pace
Oh,
here,
hey!
guys.
And most of the time, you actually do just at the beginning. You're just gonna wander around to figure out where we're gonna have to find the gears people, which are these little robot guys.
We're wandering around figuring out stuff, right? Have we found anything yet?
Well, we found the beefalo, so there's that.
Found the beefalo. It's also usually easier because we're playing at the same time, and so like one of us is doing one thing,
Yeah,
and the
that's
other
the
one's
best
like
part
off
about this
doing the other
game.
thing. Like I'm usually the one that kind of like
You build stuff.
I build the stuff and I build up the
gather.
base, and then Blair is always just running around like being chased by spiders and stuff.
Stefan
Like,
is also the hunter as well. I just went around gathering.
we take
foods and
the
things.
typical kind of like stereotypical male-female separation of roles.
Yeah.
Blair also likes to like make the food.
Yeah. Oh crap! We still need gold. That's the
Oh
thing.
gosh.
Beefalo.
And I'm always like attacking shit. I like put on armor. You can build armor, and then I just go and like attack beefalo and everything. Blair's always like, "Why are you killing the beefalo?"
Yeah, they're beefalo. They don't attack you. You know,
Okay,
it's
they
just
are pretty
nice.
cute, but they do attack you once you attack them.
Yeah, of course.
And if you kill them, then you get beefalo wool, and you might get a beefalo horn that you can make a epic hat that keeps you warm in the winter.
Crap! I'm going crazy. I need flowers.
What's another way to restore sanity? Is it just flowers? I think it's pretty much just flowers, isn't it?
Yeah, I need to go find flowers, or you'll be dead soon. The thing is, night's about to start, so I guess I'll just hang out here. Beefalo have just taken over. I mean, I thought
Okay, so how do we
Some
build this
space.
science machine? That's the
we
first
need
thing we
gold,
usually build,
so
right?
we need to go find gold. We might have made this prematurely, but whatever. Also, that fire's gonna be raging for a long time.
Well, do we have a torch? Can we make another torch and we can run around and explore? Because we need to find some stuff. Oh god, that guy is probably a good indicator that we're not doing
Yeah,
very
we're
well
not
in the
doing well. Let's
sanity
go.
department.
Leave the beefalo by our nice campfire.
Have you built another torch for that when that one runs out?
I will. I'll build it real quick. Don't worry.
Famous last words.
We're you know learning how to balance having nice little chats. Well, oh fuck.
That
Phew.
was was close.
Yeah, I have stuff.
We've already been up here, no?
Yeah, we see on the minimap. The minimap's a mod, by the way. If you play the game old school, you don't even get the minimap, and then you get really lost.
Yeah, we're cheating in many, many ways here with mods.
Yeah, but no, yeah, you can see we haven't gone this way, so we're looking for gold. We're looking for flowers. Priority right now. But what I was saying was that we're still learning how to find a balance of having fun playing the game whilst also talking and chatting with whoever you might be who's watching.
Oh, you should put that little straw.
Oh yeah, and see, look, the spider grows a beard of web. So cute.
Wait, but when you shave it off, it turns into a little web.
And
No, what is it? It turns to spider silk?
You get a bunch of spider silk, yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
And boy, do you need spider silk. Because it starts raining a lot in spring. It even rains frogs sometimes, and the frogs go after you. You need umbrellas.
The problem is, it's one of those things where there's just too much to do during the day that you end up just tearing your hair out because you're like, oh god, I've got to go get grass, I've got to get gold, I've got to get, and then you just end up kind of running around doing nothing. You got to be clear. You got to say today, okay, we usually split it up and work as a team,
which is so much better.
And we're okay,
it is called
today,
Don't Starve Together.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going out and I'm getting
I'll
gold
see,
and rocks.
The rabbits are all funky because I'm going crazy.
And Blair is going out and getting food for the camp. That is what we usually do, and that's the best way that it works. I'm really interested to see how to make a boat or something.
Yeah, I'm so glad they've done that because I always found that so frustrating. It's like, well, it's got all these weird little water between everything. It's hard to get around. Okay, spider. Oh, flower. Okay, see, it added 6 insanity.
Oh yeah,
points.
so that is one of the cutest parts about this game, that when you pick flowers, your sanity returns. So if you have a feeling you're going crazy, just run around and do this sweet little run, and you just go around picking flowers, and then suddenly you're sane again. Oh my god, it's
so
great.
Cute.
The people that made this game is so creative and awesome.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, you have to get into it, but when you do, we've played where we've gotten into year 3 maybe, year 2 maybe. I think we got pretty far.
I don't know. So it seems like we just discovered a whole peninsula up here, and now we're back kind of where we started.
So that's just great. That's just great. I've been in this area for way too long. You need to get out of here.
Honestly, we've got to year 2 or 3 or something. Then you go into YouTube and you see some people that have built, and they have
mega bases,
huge bases with everything, and they everything is kind of autonomous in the base. They don't even need to do shit anymore. It kind of runs itself.
Well, and they bring you. There's massive monsters in this game that'll kill you on spot unless you have a pretty organized strategy of taking them down. And these mega bases have little obstacles where they drag the monsters through, and then killing the monster gives you a bunch of loot you need. And
oh yeah, with the houndtooth traps and stuff.
Houndtooth traps and then the big trees.
Back to our base.
Back to our base. We're going. We have to go somewhere new, so we're gonna. Should I go to the right, right in that area of the main map?
I don't know. Is there a map? Yeah.
Yeah, over here. I was thinking to check out.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it.
Still have not found any gold, so we can't make the science machine, so we can't increase our backpack space. Oh, yes! No, no.
Yeah. It's difficult doing this alone. Usually I'm just out and then I'll die because I'm trying to kill something big, and then Blair comes over and no, you don't resurrect me in this. You're always just getting frustrated because I'm always...
No, I can resurrect you in this.
You can?
Yeah, but you have to give up some of your health.
Can we go? Yeah, we'll go.
Yeah, this is water, I think.
Okay. Nice. So, okay, we're getting onto a deep question here.
Okay.
What do you think, what is the difference between liking someone, liking a friend, and loving someone?
Well, in a romantic lover way, or in just I love this person?
Well, that's actually an interesting question, because what is the difference between romantic love and other kinds of love? I mean, we really just have one word for it, but it's very clear that loving your mother very deeply is very different to loving your
Yeah.
husband. You know,
Very
deeply.
I'm not even sure how to answer that question, because a big part of it is just kind of like there's very big roles in each other's lives that people play.
Mm.
You know, that the mother and father role is like very up there. It's mega important. And then the dynamics of that they brought you into this world. Well, it's like there's more equal ground with like your romantic love, but they didn't, like.
Yeah. So what do you think it
Raise
is?
you.
What do you think it is that with a romantic lover that brings, that takes you from the I really like this person to I think I love this person. In your opinion.
I think part of it is like almost like seeing yourself in that person, like kind of having such a deep understanding.
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Please elaborate.
Well, so there's such a connection of relatability there that then.
Oh, we're already 100.
It's about to be nighttime, isn't it? Oh no, not quite yet. I'm not finding any gold out here. So, it starts to be like the same way you love yourself, you suddenly have this very serious, like, need to protect and defend and nurture this other person, because they've become such a meaningful part of your identity and understanding of yourself.
Yeah. I think it is an amazing opportunity in a romantic relationship to learn love as an adult, because if you have a good parent or caregiver, oh yeah, that's great. You kind of learn to be loved. Here's Chester. Hey,
Chester, this is
item.
great because now I can have more room. Just gonna put shit in there. Okay, go on.
Yeah, so if you have, as a young child, if you have a good parent or caregiver that loves you unconditionally, you kind of learn what love is in that kind of like very pure form of, kind of like innocent being with its protector, and the protector kind of just like doing anything to keep that other being safe and to make it, happy and secure and have as good a life as possible. And I think
That is the magic of the universe. That source of that.
and I think it is, as you become an adult, it's kind of like you have to try to maintain that connection, but try to build it out to other people as well.
You create your own version.
And that's really difficult because when it's not your child and it's kind of like a peer or someone or in a romantic relationship, it requires you being able to see something in another person that makes you feel those feelings of love and protection and wanting to do anything for them. And that's a really difficult thing to get to. And I think it requires vulnerability. It requires being able to see yourself in a very realistic light, and also being able to see others in a similar light, because nobody is perfect.
Yeah, acceptance.
Yeah, I mean, I'm explaining my point badly here. I'm trying to
I think you are.
get to something. Very hard to formulate. I think some of my kind of like beliefs in love and what it is comes from a philosopher that I really like called Iris Murdoch. That basically her value, her kind of like her summary of love, or her definition of love, is being able to see somebody else clearly. And that doesn't just mean in a kind of like surface level way. It means like truly being able to see another person clearly requires you getting past your kind of defense mechanisms and the ways in which you think automatically. It's very hard to explain.
No, but oh, gold. I'm totally in agreement with that. I mean, it's also like a big task to see someone clearly. It means that in some way they've opened up to you to allow things to be seen. And there's less show going on, and it also, I think, is a bit, you have to, I do also think you have to have a very good understanding of yourself to even have the potential to see someone clearly.
Because I think you do automatically, like, our mind is very good at putting things into boxes, and as soon as you meet someone, you're likely to kind of categorize them according to things that you've learned or your worldview that you've built up in your own mind.
Your
like,
associations.
You might, and this comes down to stereotypes and everything, you might see someone with blonde hair and think, oh, well, people with blonde hair, act in this and such a way, and that might be because you had like subjective personal experiences in the past that have led you to believe that. But actually seeing that person clearly requires you to recognize that you might have these certain ways of seeing other people, and try to kind of like look past that and actually just really look at someone for who they are in spirit, in essence. And I think, philosophically, what I believe is that we are all the same thing deep down. We are kind of like of one essence, and so it's like recognizing that in someone else is what love is. And of course I believe that philosophically, but it's very hard in reality to actually perceive that. So maybe it's something that you have to work towards.
Oh, because life is just full of so many distractions and things that we operate on emotion, so it's easy to be distracted by a feeling, and then suddenly your philosophy is thrown out the window. You're like, I'm mad at you or whoever.
Exactly.
Oh, we found 2 chunks of gold, so we can make our science machine now.
Yay, we can make the science machine. Which I can't remember what the science machine makes, but I know it's important to do it.
Very important. It's just, I guess we have to have the base by the beefalo, or else the hounds will get us.
Luckily, autumn is quite forgiving.
Yeah, Adam is very forgiving. Let's try to remember the way back home to our base. I think it's over this way. We can make a backpack.
Can we make a backpack with the science machine?
Yeah. It's one of the first important things. Let's see the map really quick. Oh wow, we really went.
Wait, where's our base?
Your base is
there
up
it is. Okay.
So you can just go straight up.
Do you have another torch ready?
Yeah, I do have a torch ready. But I think we'll make it there just in time. When you're on the little trail, you run faster. It's so very nice. We're in San Antonio's. Grab some flowers, all right. We can also, can we make the flower headband?
Yeah,
right
for
now?
sure. Go to that.
Oh right, that's.
Go to dress.
There we go.
Yay. Something to see the nose.
He's going to Coachella. I think one philosophy that I've found being great in my life is that to any relationship, not just romantic ones, to have self-acceptance and have the drive to understand yourself and accept whatever's there, even if it's, not something you wanted to be there or whatever. Something just, life throws things at you. We are who we are, and to accept yourself, giving your power to change what you want to change about yourself.
We have to go.
Oh shit, we went the wrong way.
It seems like there might be more gold there, although they'll make it moon rocks.
I think that puts you in a position where you can have really great relationships, friendships. To have like an intention of understanding yourself gives you the ability to understand others better. You can only know someone to the capacity you know yourself, or else you just won't see it.
Yeah, and I think that also takes going past your defense mechanisms about yourself, because some people, I think it's easy to grow up and have these defense mechanisms in place thinking like, I'm so great, and I am, you know, better than other people, and I am a good person, and I am not immoral, and you know, these other people with these different views to me, they all suck.
They're bad.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we especially see that nowadays with the kind of like difference between right-wing versus left-wing people. And there's no way that in humanity there's just going to be like one group of people that's inherently evil and the other one that's inherently good. But that seems what each side kind of thinks of it.
Because it's so
Thinks of the
comfortable
other.
to think that
Yeah.
someone else is bad and you're good. Because
Yeah.
someone else is bad, it makes you good, you know?
Exactly. And so I think at the end of the day, it requires accepting your own imperfection. We're all imperfect beings, and we're all humans, and humans aren't necessarily, can be evil. You can be very, very kind, but you can be very, very mean as well. And all of us are perfectly capable of that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it's very hard to discount the idea that any of us could end up being Mother Teresa, while any of us could also end up being fucking Hitler. Because we're humans at the end of the day.
Yeah, and we aren't as much like power and control we have as being like, you know, a smart species that like humans. We aren't in control of a lot of things. There's billions of us, and we all affect each other so severely that, you know, it's not. I don't really think any one individual is ever to blame for their entire life problems. It's like they can take responsibility for them, yes, but they take responsibility for how they react to them and how they can build a better perspective on all of it. But shit happens, and
Yeah.
suddenly, you know.
I mean, yeah, well, that's the problem. A lot of people don't take
Cut
responsibility
some
for their
trees.
actions. But, yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to just say, oh, that's an evil person, when the whole idea of being evil, you know, I think I heard something, I don't know who it was that said it, that it's kind of like evil people don't think that they're evil. You
Yeah.
know, they're not like in like a secret layer somewhere, like plotting the world's demise.
Yeah, the villain never thinks they're the villain.
Yeah. Like, they think that they're magnanimous, even if they're extremely wrong, you know, like, even if they're mistaken. They think that they're doing something for the good of the world. It might be purely motivated by their own ego, but they don't realize that. So yeah. How did we get onto...
I don't know. We've just gone into the land of good and evil.
Yeah.
I think it was briefly based on like the big division of left and right, and it's really interesting though, the psychology of that, because I mean I guess it's been around a long time, but especially like right now in the current environment, it seems it's very divided with the political views, and I just hate the concept of having to sign up for for whatever side, and then that's the team you cheer for the whole time, the rest of your life.
Yeah.
It's like it's by design to have an enemy. I
You want to
need
make a science machine?
Yeah, I had these the whole time. I thought I'd go get more, but I didn't. Okay, so we're gonna make our science machine.
Finally.
Plop it right here. And look at that! Yay! We can, whatever this is, we're gonna open it.
This isn't from the science machine, but
No, this just happens when you do stuff.
I
in
love the
game.
way that... Wait. What would have happened if we used it now?
It didn't let us use it now. I think it's like a
Oh, really?
customizable type of thing. So, see all these, we have new stuff we can make.
Oh yeah, we can make like gold tools.
I think it's is backpack in survival? Trap, we can trap bunnies and things.
We want to make like a hammer, we want to make a shovel.
I definitely, I want to make also like a
Where was the
box.
gold? Is the gold really far away?
There was only one. Usually there's like a whole mining of gold, but make a little chest, you can put stuff in it. You have to oh gosh, it's really...
See, this is the
Yeah,
annoying
up
thing about
close
the
and
people
personal.
though, they just come and
I
like...
swear they weren't this close
poop all over
originally.
you.
Oh,
Yeah,
how
no,
cute,
they
there's
love
little
it.
raindrops on the screen.
Oh yeah, that's new.
We gotta find where the backpack is.
It's under survival.
Do we maybe not have what we need?
It's at the bottom maybe?
Should we make
What's a buckled backpack?
a
How do
buckled
you do that?
backpack?
What is that?
We got a buckle. It just looks like that instead of the other way.
Huh.
So now we have these extra slots, so that's great. We also have chesters, so we've got plenty of.
It's never enough.
It's never enough. There's so much stuff always. So.
Look at this little beefalo just standing in the middle of our
It's
camp.
cute.
Like,
These are at some point you can build a
Yeah, we
saddle,
gotta kill him.
and you can feed the beefalo, and eventually you can saddle one and ride it around.
you want to make a sword as well, V?
You need to make a sword.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to take over and start killing beefaloes?
Maybe. Maybe.
Wait, we can't make a
We need to do
spear.
that
It's a
before
spear.
winter, for sure. Yeah, but it's in the weapons.
Oh right. Oh, we need rope, which we make from grass.
Oh no, rope is in something else.
Oh gosh, I have to get used to all these things. It's hard to refine. It's in refine.
Refine, yeah. Okay. There we go.
Well, anyway, guys.
Should we call it a day then?
Yeah, I think we should, but I just wanted to let everyone know that we're just trying to have some fun here. We'd love feedback on what you like and don't like. Doesn't matter to us. We're just trying to have a voice in the world. We're also doing stuff we love.
Yep.
So
And also, I just want to say that I don't think everyone's just trying to figure out how to live their lives, how to be a part of this world, and we're not claiming to have really any of the answers, but
no.
we're more trying to ask questions.
Yeah, we just want to
at the end of the
connect
day, so.
and be a part of this crazy world we all live in. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Nice conclusion there from.
Okay, guys. Till next time.
Okay, see ya.